Why do we love ghost stories? Through film, literature, songs, urban legends, or in the comfort of a small gathering, we have been sharing them for centuries. It isn't as simple as the desire to hear something scary. It's about the idea of this lingering impact something or someone can leave behind. It's a manifestation of pain, love, longing, or our past. Things that can haunt us for years, places that carry meaning, actions that cast a lasting shadow. In The Haunting of Bly Manor, Mike Flanagan, the series creator, intertwines ghost stories and love stories. The way he sees it, falling in love gives birth to a new ghost every time, one that will follow us for the rest of our lives. Hey everyone, I'm Marianna, this is Impression Blend, and today I am very excited to talk to you about The Haunting of Bly Manor, the second installment of the Haunting anthology series about to show up on Netflix this weekend on October 9th. Don't worry, I am going to keep things vague and this review is 100% spoiler free. And if you're into this type of stuff, then I think you should definitely subscribe to my channel. While I do cover a variety of films and series, horror holds a special place in my heart, and this being the spooky season, there is plenty of horror-related reviews and recommendations coming up. So click on that red subscribe button and make it a lovely ghostly gray. But back to The Haunting of Bly Manor. Based on the classic horror novella by Henry James, The Turn of the Screw, as well as some of his other ghost stories, the series revolves around an English estate, the people who live and work there, and the ghosts that haunt it. A young American nanny who is looking to escape her current life is hired to care for two orphaned children who live at Bly. However, she soon realizes the manor hides a lot of secrets and its residents have their own stories to tell. Let me be clear about this from the start. I really enjoyed The Haunting of Bly Manor. Of course, as you can imagine and as you can tell from the trailer, this is a beautifully shot and very atmospheric series. It's also a very different kind of story from The Haunting of Hill House, which was a big favorite for a lot of people. And I don't just mean different because the actual story and the characters of Bly Manor have nothing to do with the story and characters of season 1. I am talking about the type of story that this is and what it's trying to say. While Hill House focused on pain, trauma, and addiction, Bly Manor takes a turn for gothic romance and family betrayals. But don't let the word romance scare you away from watching the series, because this isn't some sappy love story. This is a dark, mysterious, and twisted supernatural tale that gives its romantic elements the ghost story treatment. Just like the first season, and perhaps even more so, the series really takes care to flesh out almost every character. The majority of the story takes place in 1987, but once the dynamic between our lead Danny, the children she's caring for, and the household staff is established, the episodes start revealing more about the past and exploring the characters one by one, as well as the personal demons that haunt them. I particularly enjoyed how the more morally gray and even villainous characters were given a background as well, which really helped humanize them and understand their motivations. While all of that is going on, we also find out more about the supernatural elements that are at play here, and we get introduced to the insanely creepy lady in the lake. I'm not going to go into any of the details that have to do with her, but seriously, she was really creeping me out. I also have to say it was great to see some of the cast from Hill House back on screen. Our lead is Victoria Pedretti. She plays Danny, the new Bly Manor governess from America, and she of course is wonderful. It's a very emotional performance. It was great to see her in an even bigger role this time. Also returning is Oliver Jackson-Cohen as Peter. I don't want to say anything about his this character since this is something that really gets more development later on, but I loved his performance as well. Henry Thomas is back, this time as Henry Wingrave, the uncle of the kids, though he does not have a huge role here. It's a large ensemble cast and it's a very good one. I am not going to go over every single person who is cast here, but the newcomers are really great as well. I particularly enjoyed the performances of Tania Miller, the housekeeper of Bly Manor, and Rahul Kohli, the estate's chef. Now, despite how different the two stories are, with the strong impression The Haunting of Hill House left on its viewers, it's going to be impossible not to compare the two seasons. There are high expectations involved here. People are going to be talking about whether The Haunting of Bly Manor lived up to them, and they're going to pick a favorite. So let me briefly weigh in on that. Did it live up to my expectations? Yes. Absolutely. Maybe part of it was that I knew this would have to be different from The Haunting of Hill House just based on the source material, but also I was hoping Flanagan wouldn't just try to recreate the same type of horror as Hill House in a new setting, so I was very happy to see this different direction he took for Bly Manor. I loved this more mature approach to the ghost story that Flanagan went with, a lot more restrained with the jump scares, a lot more psychological, really leaning into the metaphors of these ghosts and what it all means. What did remain the same though is the wonderful moody atmosphere. The new location is eerie and mysterious, and almost the entire series is spent there, which is great. Which of the seasons do I prefer? That's actually a difficult question to answer. I would absolutely love to rewatch Bly Manor, and I am definitely going to, because this is exactly the type of series that works even better on a second viewing once you know the whole picture. Rewatching Hill House right before getting into season 2 really highlighted for me how each season has its own strengths and weaknesses. Hill House is scarier and feels darker with a very strong ending, but it also resorts to a lot of jump scares and very aggressive color grading. Bly Manor, as I mentioned, feels more mature and keeps things more psychological, with plenty of twists along the way, but doesn't quite match the intensity of the first season in its final episodes. It really comes down to personal preference, and some people are going to appreciate the changes in style and prefer the second season to the first one, while others are going to miss that more traditional supernatural horror style and scares. For my enjoyment, the two seasons are pretty much equal. I would rate The Haunting of Bly Manor the same as I rated Hill House, a solid 8 out of 10. I would absolutely recommend it. This is a beautiful and chilling story with a lot of character depth, and I cannot wait to hear what you guys think of this season. The key, of course, is to go in with proper expectations. Know that while this is a ghost story, this is primarily a mysterious gothic romance filled with a lot of interesting twists and turns. I hope there is eventually a season 3 of The Haunting, and Flanagan can combine the intensity of the final episodes of The Haunting of Hill House with the more mature and more restrained approach of Bly Manor. I don't know what he would adapt next though. I'm sure there are options out there. I would love to see him do something more recent like Slade House by David Mitchell or Kill Creek by Scott Thomas. Let me know if you guys have any ideas. What do you think the next season of the Haunting anthology series should be based on? I would love to know. But that's it for this review. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. A special thank you to all of my patrons who are supporting me on Patreon, and an extra special thank you to the patrons whose names are on the screen right now. But of course, I appreciate every single viewer who has made it to the end of this video. Thank you for sticking around. If you enjoyed this video, which I hope you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye.